Well, good morning, everybody. Again, Sunday morning, June 30th. It is 75 degrees. Got a little warmer already. We do have some clouds in the sky, partly cloudy. It is 10 days till a full moon. We have a waxing crescent. Yesterday I said it was a gibbous. I'm sorry. We're one of the days before. So we're beginning to see aphids up here on our potatoes. Small infestation. So the two crops that grow well here are, and you can grow potatoes year round in Shasta County. I don't know whether anybody knows that or not, but you do now. So you can grow potatoes throughout the year in Shasta County. You better move this. Put this back in the shed. Throw a little bit of muriatic acid on it. Clean it up, get the rust off to function better. Put a little oil on it. Soluble oil is what you want to put on there because it's, it won't get all greasy. It will if you keep using it, but it won't get all greasy like regular oil. And it washes off. So anyways, so it's what we're going to do today is I'm going to be going along here this morning and I'm going to be cutting these watermelon tendrils. We're going to be cutting those off because we want this plant to start setting blossoms and setting fruit, and it will branch out. So we're just going to go along here like this. I've never seen so many different kinds of diseases like we have had. We never used to have powdery mildew. We used to never have a lot of the other viruses and mildew, and I think they're coming right out of China, folks. They've been doing this shit for a long time. They've been sabotaging our ag, and it makes it hard for us to grow. We got to keep putting, and their intent is to kill us. Don't everybody ever think they're not, because they are communist. The PRC, and people from China tell me not everybody from China are communist, but you know what? Here's the thing. It's just like Islam. If you moderates do not control those around you that are fanatical, like the PRC and Islamist. And remember, they are one and the same too. They're not. Their ideology is the same as it is for communism, as it is for Muslims. Believe it or not, you don't have to believe anything I tell you. You just do the research and find out for yourself. Anyways, so that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to go along here and find these main tendrils, and we're going to clip them off, put them over there in a pile, and we'll just keep moving along here. And it worked on our cucumbers, worked very well. I'm cutting these and I don't know if you noticed, but our fruit. So we do have potatoes growing in here. Our fruit down at our fruit down in the lower garden on our cucumbers are going into the fruits more than it is going into the growth of the plant, and that's what we want right there. So we're just going along here. These are, of course, the difference between the watermelon leaves and then these leaves right here. So we do have some holes in our pipe that are spraying up, and you can see that our leaves are getting a little scald on them. So that's something we got to take care of. we're going to reduce the time because we have all this runoff. So it's going right straight through. And these tomatoes, because we have so much sand in there, you know, you got to get your ratio right. You do need to have good drainage. I would rather go too far with it. So we're going to get right in here and clip that little top off right coming out of the crotch in this. Right, so and at some point we'll stop doing that. Once these plants get up high enough, we'll start. So here's one right here. I don't know if you can see it, but here it is right there. And we cut it off. Okay. So that's what I do. You know, and you'll grow bigger fruit that way. You'll grow bigger tomatoes. There's one right here. You see, growing out of the crotch there. And that will be that. So we're going along here and we're cleaning these tops off and, you know, getting that, you know, that extra growth. And well, we're not going to cut these off. We're looking for the ones that are popping up in the crotch. See, so we have a pretty good size one right here. I don't know if you can see it in there. Here. There it is. So we're just gonna snip that baby right off. We want to remove those. Here's another one, little one, right there. So, and then here's another big one. So we haven't been out here looking for these guys. So we want to promote this growth up. We do have some blossoms, and we want to promote the growth to go into those blossoms. And we want to try to divert the growth in energy from these plants, and we want to promote it to go into the well, I hate those pine needles. Pine needles are such a pain. So we do have fruit. Here, I want to cut this lower limb off, although he's looking pretty good. You know, when they start looking really sad, that's when I'm gonna be. And you don't want them touching the ground. If they're touching the ground, you want to take them off. Those are shade leaves. Those are on the bottom. They're not doing a lot because they're shaded by the upper leaves. I hate those pine needles. Damn. So, and the thing about growing out here like this, out in the woods like this, these oak trees. And I don't know if you noticed, but we have thinned these oak trees out. They carry a lot of bugs. They promote the larvae. You know, they got pockets in them where water sits, mosquitoes. And so we've been thinning them out pretty good, and we're going to keep thinning them out. I got to get my backhoe. I got surgery tomorrow morning. No, Tuesday morning I have surgery. They're going to remove that stent that goes from my liver bile duct into the duodenum. The small intestine just below the stomach is where that dumps out. So I'm going to go in to Dr. Spinka on, yeah, we don't want any of that extra growth. We want this growth to go into this fruit right here, right there. And we are going to be spraying these potatoes to try to get. So you shake here and you see that little thing, that's a whitefly. Anywhere where you have whitefly, you know, I don't know if you can see them or not, but if you just take this plant and you shake it, that's a tomato plant, and I see the whitefly take off right there. Yeah, see, whitefly. You know, I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, and some of them are real tiny. They're really hard to see. So you definitely want to. And we don't pull these weeds out until we identify them. See? I'm pretty sure that might not be a weed. Looks like a weed to me. We're gonna leave it. We don't pull them weeds out until we identify them. Some of them are good for medicinal purposes, and you just got to follow the guidelines. You know, where do the branches come off? Are they opposite or are they offset? Like on the tomato plants, they're offset. So you have a branch here and a branch here, and then how they split out and stuff. So this plant right here is a volunteer. This tomato plant. And we put this stake in here to hold it up. I'm going to tie it off here in a minute as soon as I get off camera, because I can't tie with one hand. Anyway, so this is what we're doing. We're going along here. And I am really partial. You know, either I'm going to grow a... That's one of the tops. Either I'm going to grow a single stem or I'm going to grow a double stem. So if you look, let's see if I can get a better shot of this. So if you look, you can see this is coming out of the crotch right there. And don't leave them. You want to take them out. Anyway, so we have them popping up. See, we don't want the growth to go into these. We want it to go into these right here, these guys. Anyway, so anywheres where we find those, we'll be taking them out to an extent. After a while, we'll stop taking them out. Then we're going to promote the growth of the plant. So we're going to like go back and forth, promote the plant, promote the fruit. And that's what we're going to do. Any of these that are down that might be touching the ground, we really don't want that. And then the growth that's coming off of these like this, we don't want that either. So we're just going to remove it. We'll be pulling weeds here in the next couple of days to kind of get rid of that. I think I see, what is that? Oh, that's a potato. So, and they tell you, you know, don't grow. I mean, I have a chart that tells me what I can grow companion planting with and stuff like that. So, and I may not have it right, but I don't care. That's the thing. And I do know that if I have a crop that suffers, then I do something different next year. But I'm not worried about this little tomato plant being with these potatoes. I am going to have to fertilize, and I think now, because these plants are looking so good, that we're going to hit them with some and some of the experts, fertilizing experts, say you want to go in threes or whatever. I don't remember what they call it, but like if you have on your PK, what is it, NPK? Yeah. What a lousy brain. Anyways, so, you know, 1 nitrogen, 1 phosphorus, or 3 phosphorus, and then 9 potassium, NPK, whatever it is. All right, so that's how you want to do it, but I like to go with a balanced. So I will go with a balanced, because these guys need a lot of phosphorus and a lot of different things than just nitrogen, but they love nitrogen. So, but I still give them a balance, and what these guys are going to get is like 999. And I go out there to the irrigation supply place, Normac, and that's where I buy all my stuff. And I buy it in bulk. I mean, I buy the great big bags. So I'm going to cut this irrigation back to, instead of 8 minutes like I had, I cut it back yesterday. I'm going to cut it back. I cut it back to 6 minutes. So yesterday it was 8. I cut it back to 6. And we have been spraying NutriCrop on our grapes also, because they get powdery mildew really easy. And then they get this scabby stuff like this one got. And you know, when these die off, you can see the scab on them. I don't know what it's called as far as it goes for grapes, and grapes are different than about anything you grow. So you can see the green NutriCrop on there. That's copper sulfate, and that's what you want. And I used to be able to buy it in the bags, the copper sulfate in the bags, but the county and you know, our government in its infinite wisdom won't let us buy it anymore. So it cost us more money. They really prohibit, they try to prohibit our homegrown gardens. You know, we're in a bad way with this socialist system we live under here in California. They won't let us buy our copper sulfate or any of the rest of that stuff in bulk. Here's all the cats. The cats finally showed up. Where you guys been? I've been up here for a long time. Look at these guys. They're so fun. They're stinky, but they're fun. And there's Big Mama. Little Mama. She's the queen of the roost. She's the queen of the pack. She's the one that gave birth to all these cats, except for Molly. Molly just showed up one day. And we have too much compassion for lost souls. Or probably, maybe not enough. Especially probably for humans. So that's all we're going to cut off of those today. We don't want to get wholesale crazy, right? So we gotta get that taken care of. So hopefully we won't have the aphids move from here over to here, but we are going to be spraying these guys too. So we have some, we really have some kick-ass stuff. We have some bifin that we don't want to use on our vegetables, but we use on our ornamentals and our landscaping, our grass and stuff. And when we spray that stuff, we lock the cats up for a day because we don't want them. And the stuff that we use is safe after it dries. So that's what we're going to do. Anyways, I guess that's it for our upper garden. There's Mr. Maverick. He's as beautiful as his mama. He's got that eyeliner thing going with his beautiful stripes. He's a beautiful cat, this guy. And I must be feeding him the right stuff. I mean, I'm feeding him Friskies tender centers, right? And they're not getting real fat. Plus they get a half a can, each one get a half a can of wet food every morning. So I go through 3 cans of wet food every morning, and then they get dry food, the Friskies tender centers. And the Friskies wet food is what we use to kind of try to stay with that stuff because they say it's not good to, you know, you want to keep feeding them the same thing if you're going to start on something. Anyways, that's all I know about that. And so here we are. Beautiful day. Gonna be a humid day. I can tell already. I'm sweating just walking around. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.